We're making lamb, chicken, and pork souvlaki. We used to make it this way at the restaurant, and today I'm showing you how to make it. So we're making the Greek-style lamb chops like we made at the restaurant, using a 6-ounce lamb porterhouse that's been marinated with a little Greek dressing. Got the grill real hot on one side and cool over here on this other side. What we're going to do is we're going to get these lamb chops colored up nice. Now you got to really be careful with lamb chops because they have this fat on there. We're also today going to cook some of the Greek pork kebabs that I make and the Greek chicken kebabs that I sell, and show you how easy it is. But I mean, you know, we're looking at like 15-20 seconds a side here. You know, as far as I'm concerned, a 6-ounce lamb chop needs to be cooked on the grill. It needs to have that crust. That fat needs to get a little bit of caramelization. See, like I've got that little hot spot there, I'm moving this around. Right here where these lamb chops aren't glazing as quickly, I'll put them over here to this hot corner that I've got. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to get them nice and seared and looking good, and then we're going to pull them off and set them on their chine bone right here and let them roast. See, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for some black crispiness. This is flavor. That's looking good. So see how this lamb chop has got some nice color now? We're going to set that over to the lighter side. Same with this one here. We'll get these over now to the calmer side. We'll let them finish the next 4 or 5 minutes. You know, when I cooked on the grill at Medusa, you know, this grill was 900,000 degrees, 1100, and what we would do is we would caramelize our steaks and then we'd pull them off to the side and let them bake here nice. See, what we want to do is we want to get these lamb chops with the loin side facing the fire up like this. They can start baking. Yeah, that's what we're looking for there, folks. Some nice caramelization. You know, don't try to cook a dozen of these at a time because they need a lot of attention, as you can see. So I got these lamb chops over here now. They're nice and caramelized up. I got them on their chine bone. You know, we want that bone to protect the meat. Okay, now while those are coasting, I'm going to show you how easy it is to cook my kebabs that I sell. They're already marinated. I've already got the seasoning and the garlic and the lemon. It's pretty much the same deal here.
Is that the chicken or the pork?
This is the pork. You know, I've got my pan of oil here, but I don't need it because these are already seasoned and oiled and ready to go. Zania and I did these for a wedding early spring, and I'm using thigh meat So it really is forgiving. It won't dry out on you like the dark meat will. Same premise here. We want to get some color on these. And the reason why you want to get color on them right away is because then the marinade won't stick to the grill.
How long do those kebabs cook for?
4 to 6 minutes at the most. But if you went 7 or 8, it's okay because it's not white meat. It's the thigh meat. So it stays nice and moist.
You only flip those once?
No, I might flip them once or twice. It depends on how hot your fire is. You know, this fire I started at 3:45. So it's been an hour and 15 minutes. And now the coals are just starting to kick in. And, you know, I don't have a lot of wood that's burning and throwing out flames. So that's where you get your smokiness. You can see our lamb chops here. They're doing nice. Those are about medium rare right now, so I'm going to turn them on their side just a little bit. Now, say you've got a grill that's a little bit hot here and you still have to finish this up. You cover it. You open the vents about halfway so you don't put your fire out. And now we're going to bake this. And my Weber has a thermostat in here. Once it gets up to about 400 degrees, I'll know that those lamb chops are done because they need to sit and rest. Like any piece of meat that you cook on the grill, you gotta let it rest because that meat's like this and it's gotta calm down. If you cut into it right away, all that juice is just gonna come out of it. So you wanna let your grilled steaks, especially the bigger, thicker ones, but with these lamb chops, you know, they're only 6 ounces. So, I mean, 7, 8 minutes tops. We're at about 8. See how this chicken, it didn't burn on us. And this pork. You know, you want to get some color on this stuff because that's flavor. But you don't want to burn it. So the way that you control your fire is by putting cover on it. But you only want to do that once you got your coals already going. If you're doing that with fresh charcoal or fresh wood, then you're going to get a lot of that smoky, gassy flavor, and that's not what you want. So these lamb chops are looking great. I'm going to put them in my pan here with a little oil and seasoning. You know, I've cooked enough of these lamb chops to know when they're just right. Now, while they're still hot, I'm going to put my cover back on here because I want this chicken and pork to cook all the way through. That's probably at almost 4 minutes now, so we'll probably go another minute or so. On these lamb chops, I like to take my Greek dressing and give it a little bit of extra punch. And anytime you make anything Greek that comes off the grill, it gets fresh lemon. It adds that freshness, that balance, because you've got the rich lamb fat, you've got the Greek dressing and the oil. You want to be able to cut that with some nice fresh lemon. I hit it with a little of my house seasoning, and we're going to let those rest. Today I made some delicious village salad, which is basically a Greek salad without lettuce. Tomatoes, green onions, garlic, cucumbers, a little bit of French feta, olive oil, malted vinegar. I use malt vinegar for the tomato salad because I love the flavor of it. And then I got dill and Italian parsley in here. And we made some rice pilaf today. Actually, my daughter made the rice pilaf. Okay, my Weber's at 450. Pork just needs a little bit more. Chicken's looking really good. Like I said, this chicken is very forgiving because it's thigh meat. I think we're looking at just maybe about a minute on that. All right, while we're waiting for those to finish, I'm going to start setting up my plates. You know, I make those kebabs. We make like 7 or 8 orders, and at the end of the week, we end up with 3 or 4 orders, and I don't understand why we're not selling it out, because it's so easy and delicious. The meat is fresh, it's pasture raised. You know, on this pilaf, you brown the rice, then you add chicken broth and a little bit of butter and some onion. I think today we used jasmine rice. It just has a nice sweet flavor. Just made that. A little bit of our tomato salad. And make sure you get the spoon in there, get that juice on the plate, okay? That's dipping sauce, folks. That's bringing flavor to the table. What I wanted to show you on these lamb chops is, you know, people would come in, you know, this is how we would serve them. You know, we'd give 2 lamb chops. We'd hit it with a little bit of fresh herbs. And that was our lamb chops that we served. And so many times people are trying to cut into a lamb chop. There's a bone right here. So the best way to do this is you stick your fork in the loin side, the bigger side, and you take your knife. Just look at that, perfect medium rare. If you want them done a little bit longer, then just bake them a little bit longer in your grill. And then you put your fork on the other side of the bone. All right, that way you can eat your bone. And then you cut your lamb chop. Look at that, nice, medium. A little bit of rice. Oh, you know, what I forgot on these is just a touch of tzatziki sauce. Cucumbers, onion, Greek yogurt, lemon, fresh dill, fresh mint. Delicious. If you love lamb, marinate the chops a day ahead of time. Get them nice and colored.
Is it a wet or a dry marinade? Chops.
It's Greek dressing and dry marinade.
Okay.
All right, so got the pork kebabs. They're looking awful tasty. There's 1.5 pounds pork kebabs to a container. And we got the chicken. You can use pita breads for these or not. Most Greeks don't eat pita bread. We eat the sesame bread. You know, the only time we've ever eaten pita bread is with a gyros, and we don't even eat gyros with pita bread. We eat it on a plate of onions, and that's it. So, again, with the fresh lemon, and the Greek dressing. That's a Mediterranean summer dish right there, folks. It doesn't really get any better outdoors than Greek Mediterranean food. You hit this whole thing with fresh Italian parsley, fresh dill. Now, to get the meat off the kebab, you start it halfway and pull it off. Okay? Because if you try to start back here, you risk pulling it off into the rest of the plate and knocking everything off. This pork is beautifully, because of the marinade, it's going to turn your pork a little bit pink, but it's not raw. And same thing with chicken. I mean, look at this, Zach. Nice and moist chicken. That thigh meat is so money. It brings so much moisture to the table. So that's it. That's the Greek lamb chops we did at Medusa. The chicken kebabs, the pork kebabs, serve on a pita with tzatziki or onions, serve with rice, serve it with Greek potatoes, whatever you'd like. but it's good grilling here, folks. These are available at the store. Kind of slow movers, so I don't know if I'm going to make them too much, but you can do the pork and the chicken the same way I did the lamb. Marinate it, skewer it, cook it the next day. Nice hot fire. Bake them on your grill if you have to get the meat cooked. Hit it with fresh lemon, and it's delicious food. So this will be in the cookbook. Next week we'll have another item if the weather allows us. We'll be grilling. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you next week.